going on, financial people? So let's go ahead and take a look at this. We're moving forward with our projected timeline for financial stuff, so it's getting really big. So when we come to our Don Tank again, let's go to DT Forms, and then we're going to scroll down. And again, anything that is fin is your responsibility. So we should have already done by now the business startup and the competitor analysis. We should be moving on. Then we need to be on projected financials. So you can read this for yourself, but you are going to make a copy first. It is important to know, though, that this is what really tells whether your business is going to be viable and whether you're wasting your time and money, just like I put in that quote there. So investors are going to want to see this, and if this doesn't make sense, then no matter how good your idea is, if it doesn't sell, then it's not going to be there, okay? So we are going to make a copy, put this in our folder, but let's go ahead and click here, and let's go through with it. If at any time, though, I do lose you by anything, you're more than welcome to replay it, or we will do some stuff, some Zooms and some live things where we can help you, whatnot. First thing to know from here is what we look at is this is a Google Sheet document, so we know that a Google Sheet houses many different pages within it that you can. So on the bottom you'll see instructions in red, then we have number 1, number 2 in yellow, profit and loss, and dashboard in green there. So those are the different tabs that we're going to go to. Right here is the instructions, and I'll get to that in a second real quick for you, but what I want to explain here quickly is this. So we're going to work on 3 separate things here: expenses, revenue, and COGS. So if we were to look at our profit and loss statement here, income, we're really going to look at our revenue and cost of sales and cost of goods, our COGS, and then we're going to minus that from our expenses, and then we should have a total profit, because revenue is just what you make, right? COGS and expenses are the things that we're going to spend money on. So I would want you to understand this first, at least, before we get into it. So again, revenue is the income generated from normal business. COGS, you can read it, but basically it's the amount that goes into making that particular good or service. And then expenses are required for the money spent on something. And you can see in here, they all have different relationships. So you would want to know that, because once you know those 3 elements, it does help you going forward in things. But let's get going on this. And again, I don't think it's that complex. It really isn't. It looks more intimidating than it really is. So just work with it. Make sure you understand it. And I'm here for anything that you need. First off, though, how to use this template. So we're going to start on the number 1 sheet, which is down here. And we're going to put sample transactions and enter business transactions here. But what we have to do is we have to put categories first. So you'll notice in this thing here, there are 30 lines. You can add more. It's totally up to you, but I don't think you're going to need that many. You'll see this category type here. There's only 3 categories. Again, it's expenses, COGS, and revenue. And you're going to want to put that differently. So, for example, if I want to say an expense that I maybe have is cell phones, I can put that as an expense. And then if I come over here into my profit and loss, it'll automatically, if you notice, change that one for me, okay? I don't even have to do anything. I wrote the formula for you in that one. So, for example, if you see the third expense here says car and truck, if I go back over to number 1, you'll notice it says car and truck here. So I'm just going to go ahead and type in anything. What do I say? Let's say an expense is insurance payments. Okay. Notice it's there. Expenses category is good. And now if I come over to my profit and loss, boom, it's already changed to insurance payments. So what you don't want to do is you don't want to come over here on this beautiful sheet and change it. You want to do that over here on the number 1, the yellow one, okay? So what I would do when you have it is I would go ahead and just delete them all, and then you can go back, put in the stuff that you want. Cost of goods sold down here, custom COGS 1, you probably aren't going to need, excuse me, COGS 1 and 2, you can probably just delete that and do 1 and 2, it's up to you, or you can just keep it as is. And then sales revenue, I would think you'd only have the first one. You won't have to worry about the 2 other custom ones, but it's up to you, and we can elaborate on that further. Okay, so that's number 1 there. After you've entered your transaction categories, you're going to go to number 2 and begin to enter every transaction in the appropriate rows, okay? So that's all step number 1. So what it says is we're going to come over here to step number 2, and we're going to start putting in the transactions that we're going to do, okay? This is where it takes a long time, because you'll notice here, by clicking this here, this is your categories that you've put in, okay? So let's say the first month in, let's say 1/1, I have to pay insurance, okay? And I know it's an expense. I'll go ahead and write the description. So I'll say pay for autos in fleet times 3. And again, I'm just making this up so you can see this. And in our amount here, let's go ahead and put, I think premium, let's say $268 on that one. And notice it says there, insurance, okay? So that's 1-1. That'd be a first transaction, what I would do. I can go over to my profit and loss and I can check to make sure it is running, and it is, like we see it here. So it says for the first month in January, I'm already spending $268 on that one, right? And so forth. So what we'll do is you'll go through each month transaction and you'll write the stuff in your transaction category here, okay? Now, if I wanted to show a revenue one, I can go down here. I'll click the category. And I'll go down to, let's go down to sales, not sales 1 or 2. We don't need that. And at the end of the month, let's say 131, okay, 2020. I'm going to say sales for January, and let's say our sales are something like, let's just make up a number, 12,520. Okay, 12,520. Awesome, great month. I'm going to come over here. Well, actually, I'm sorry. Didn't really work on that one the best. However, I will fix it for you. But once you put the stuff in there, it will show up on the profit and loss. I do apologize that it wasn't in there correctly, but I'm already going with the video. I might as well keep rolling with it. So what you're going to do is you're just going to keep on putting all the stuff for the month, what you're going to spend, how much the cost of goods are, things like that. So you're going to put it all the way in, and you're going to do it for every month all the way down. And what we can do is we can keep on adding these things in as we go, because we are going to want a 12-month rolling cost. And what we'll do is we're going to start off like it's January, okay? So first of the year, make our life easier on that one, so we can just do things way, way easier on that one. Going back to instructions then, the dashboard and profit and loss sheets will automatically update based on the transactions. So we don't have to worry about really touching anything over here in the green, because those things are going to do it for yourself. And notice here it already says everything is computed for you, so then we can start working on that as we go through, okay? Last instruction here, if you want to change any of the categories, you can change the categories on the categories sheet. Again, that just means over here, going to change the category name on that one. Overall, pretty self-explanatory. It's not totally difficult to work with. It can be a little intimidating at first, but again, I'm here to help you. So what I will do is, once you guys do get set up on this, then I will start having Zooms available to where we can do this one-on-one, or if we need to use someone's, we can do it like that. But it's not that big of a deal. You'll be great on it. Just make sure you are keeping track of everything that you want, because what's cool about the system that I wrote for you, the financial statement, is that it is going to make a graph for you over time, so you're not going to have to do that. Then you can just take the data and you can do things from there. Any other, and yes, you can hear the birds in the background. Any other thing you need, just let me know. But I'm here for you guys, and this is going to be a great projected financial statement on all your behalfs, and I know you will.